Is giving someone the cold shoulder a form of abuse? That's today's question. Welcome back to Analytical Media. We are a consortium of therapists, college professors, and well-published, peer-reviewed authors. You can find our book on the subject of psychopathy, entitled Descent into Darkness, at Amazon.com. The book analyzes the murder of Travis Alexander by Jodi Arias from the perspective of psychopathy. Is it a form of abuse? It is if your partner dislikes it. It's simply a different way to fight. It's a different punishment. If you've been following this channel, you know we don't believe in punishing people we love. Certainly not deliberately hurting someone we love. We don't recommend it, and it is very destructive to a relationship. So if you feel that your partner does not like to be given the cold shoulder, and because you're upset or you're angry, you're giving that person a cold shoulder, which may last for hours or days or even weeks, is that okay? No, it's not okay. It does nothing to end the situation, to end the disagreement, to end the fight. It simply is a more passive way of fighting. And if you know that your partner dislikes this, then you know that you're fighting. This is your punishment. You're punishing them for displeasing you in some way. When you're fighting, or even in the aftermath of fighting, as things are beginning to settle down, or you hope you have a resolution that will stand and last, you may not be very pleased with your partner. You may want your partner to know that you are hurt, that they've hurt you. You don't want them to take this for granted, that they can hurt you and get away with it. But all of those things, they are a methodology, a system to perpetuate the fight, to keep it going, but to a lesser degree. And the cold shoulder may be the atom bomb, the nuclear weapon. You know you can fight back and forth, and your partner will put up with it, accept it, fight willingly with you. But and that's good for smaller things, but if it's the really big thing, you may have to hit them with the atom bomb, which is not talking, the cold shoulder. You need to recognize that you're fighting. If it's your goal to fight and to continue the fight, then you're succeeding. However, I can assure you, you will be ending your relationship. These are things that are contributing to the end of your relationship. When you have a disagreement, when the two of you don't see eye to eye, maybe you're unhappy with her behavior, or you're unhappy with his behavior, or this thing or that thing, and so you're fighting, you're arguing, there are no pleasant feelings emerging. You're not solving, you're actually fighting, debating. This period of time is destructive to the relationship. You must keep it, the length of this period, as short as possible, so as to do as little damage as possible. At some point, reverting to the cold shoulder or a new behavior of withdrawing, especially if you know that that is troublesome to the other party, that withdrawing, that cold shoulder, is not a normal relationship. This is not your normal relationship. This is a form of fighting. It's a way of continuing the damage, trying to put pressure and leverage on the other person. How much of this can they take? The goal of both of you is to form a unified life together. If you are compatible, this is very possible to do. And the more compatible you are, the easier it is to do. If you only want to listen to country music, and your partner only wants to listen to hip hop, then you have an incompatibility. And you're going to have to work it out in some fashion. I am not suggesting that the country fan learn to like hip hop or vice versa, but what I'm suggesting is you may pick a time to listen to music 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night, anytime after 10 at night, and do it separately. Pick your time. Agree that neither one of you will subject the other to your taste in music. So when your partner's riding with you, he doesn't have to worry about listening to country when he wants to listen to hip hop. That's a way of maintaining your unification without compromise, without saying, half the time you drive, we will listen to hip hop, and half the time we drive, we'll listen to country. It's really not a good compromise because you dislike his music and he dislikes your music. So for you to get your half an hour of pleasure, you must make him suffer for half an hour and vice versa. It's a poor idea. Because making someone to do something they don't like, eating a food they dislike, listening to something they dislike, watching a television program they dislike, that is offensive. It is, at the very least, irritating. And that should not be your goal. You should allow for both parties to be happy. And your happiness should not come at his expense. And his happiness should not come at your expense. There should be no cost for the happiness. Now, you're giving him or her the cold shoulder is irritating at the least. It may be offensive. It's like going through a period of time experiencing negative emotions. And most importantly, it's a period of time when you are not together. You're not a unit. You're not unified. So you are removed from your relationship. Most early relationships end because people don't know. They haven't taken the time to learn. They haven't studied things. They may have had poor role models. But you learn from experience, and sometimes those early relationships that end, some of those relationships, or one of them, might have been the one. I mean, the one that could have gone the best, the furthest, the live happily ever after one. But through what some people would describe as childishness or immaturity, things occurred that ended the relationship. And they usually cannot be rebuilt. Damage is done, so fighting should be held to, you don't plan to fight. So we can't plan, we'll fight tonight between 8 and 9. And over time, we'll cut it back to 8 to 8:30. It's unplanned. And when it comes up, this disagreement that becomes more pointed, more directed towards the other person, which we might as well call a fight. When that occurs, was not planned. Once it begins, both parties should recognize it's like a wound. Nobody plans to cut themselves. But as the blood's dripping out, you should plan on shortening the blood loss, the damage to the body, whether that means a trip to the emergency room or holding on to a pressure point or wrapping a rag around an arm or a tourniquet. There's a limit to how much blood you can lose before the body dies, and there's a limit to how much abuse a relationship can take before the relationship is killed, murdered. So, should you perpetuate fighting? You could end it. You reach that point where it could be an end, but you still might be angry. You still might feel that You were hurt more than he was, so you want to hurt him a little more to even it. It's all very, very bad. As soon as you can end that disagreement, that fight, you should do it. Get beyond the fight part. Discussions can go on for a long time, as long as there's no anger, no emotion, or very little emotion involved. And you should try to resolve things, which means that you should get rid of the disagreement. You're going to fight about music choices your entire lifetime, or as long as the relationship lasts, unless you can resolve it. And so that's the goal. The goal is to resolve those incompatibilities as quickly as one can. We'll talk about ghosting later, which to me is just a deeper form of the cold shoulder. It's a more extreme form of the cold shoulder. We will discuss that in more detail. I hope that we've provided some insight. I hope we can help some relationships. I hope we can help you to form a better relationship, to understand what goes wrong in a relationship. And if you fight a lot, the issue's likely the fighting, not likely the incompatibility. It is possible you are incompatible and thus the fighting, but it's much more likely you're simply fighting out of childishness, out of the inability to understand what makes a good relationship and how to resolve differences. I hope we've helped. I hope this provided some insight. If it did, pass it on to a friend. And hopefully you will come back and indulge in another video about mental health, about happiness, about psychology, about philosophy, as it pertains to psychology. This is Analytical Media, and we'll see you the next time we post.